In today's tutorial, we are going to make this super cute penguin Christmas tree ornament. And this is a great project to do with kids. You can get my template for free. All you need are some little pieces of felt. You can either sew it together like I've done on this one, or in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to put it together with glue because that makes it a really easy project to do with kids. I'm going to be using freezer paper. It is a great way to trace and get things cut out nicely on felt, and you can also reuse it. I'll show you how that works. You'll need some nice and sharp scissors for felt. I'm going to be using regular scissors to cut out the templates. We need a pen. If you want to add some embellishments, I added a couple sequins to his little gift. I could have filled that, whatever you want to do. It also includes a back where it looks like the hat goes around the back. You could put a child's initial or anyone's initial. You could put the date. Anything else you wanted to add to the back. Let me show you how easy this is to put together with glue. The first step is to get this free template, and we need to transfer these shapes onto freezer paper. And this is just freezer paper that you buy in the grocery section. It is smooth on one side, like kind of dull on one side, and shiny on the other side. We want to draw on the dull side because when we iron the shiny side onto the felt, it's going to stick. And then you can cut your piece out, but then it peels right off and it leaves no residue at all. It's awesome. And you can use the pieces over and over again. So I'm just going to place this template down over the black felt so that you can kind of see better what I'm doing. And then you'll see I have these organized by color: yellow, green, red, white, and black. So you're just going to trace each of these designs onto this freezer paper so that you can cut them out separately to put on each of the colored felt pieces of felt. You can also use a light desk. You can do this on a window, but if you put something dark behind your paper, you can see it just fine. One of the cool things about being able to use the freezer paper and iron it on more than once is that all the pieces that you need to cut two of, you only need to trace one template because you're going to be able to use it for both cuts. And then you can also use it multiple times if you're going to make more than one penguin ornament. It shows you on the template which ones you need to cut two. You need two bodies, the pom-pom if you're going to use felt, the hat piece, and the red hat part. And that's so that everything looks good on the back as well. So now that I have that all traced, I'm just going to take my scissors, and these are just paper scissors, and cut these apart by color. You want to cut pretty close to the shapes just so you don't need as big of a piece of felt when you're ironing this on. Have you ever used freezer paper for quilting or crafting or doing things like this? I'm not sure who came up with this idea, but it is genius. Now I have my iron turned on. We do not need steam, we just need heat. I'm going to place these down on their respective colors of felt and just do a quick pass over and see how that just sticks nicely. It lays flat. So I'm going to do that for each of the colors. And then on the template, when it shows you need to cut two, we're just going to come back after we've cut our first one and we will iron it back down and cut it again. Then once it's cut out, you're just going to put your finger between the paper and the felt and it peels right off. No residue at all on your felt, like magic. If it starts to lift off, which I actually didn't have happen before, but I guess it can happen, you can either just hold it in place or just hit it with iron one more time. So this little hat rim is a piece that we do need two of. So I'm just going to put it right back on there, press it again. And this time I'm just cutting right outside of the paper since I've already cut on that line for the first hat piece. I'm just going to keep all my little template pieces. So if I want to make more, I don't have to use more freezer paper and I don't have to take the time to trace that again. We will need a second body. Having the extra body isn't as necessary when you're gluing it together like we're going to do today. So maybe we will skip that, but I'm going to cut it out. But if you are sewing, like I did on this one, all of the stitching and things are on the back. So you're definitely going to want to hide that with a second piece of felt. But I'm going to cut this out for now, and then we will decide as we go if we need this or not. Honestly, for the eyes, you might just want to cut a teeny piece of felt because cutting around that little template is a little bit crazy. All right, we have all of our pieces. Now it's time to glue him together. Now I have all the pieces laid out in a cute little pom-pom ball we're going to use for the hat and the template. Now the template is going to help us know how to put these pieces together. You can use hot glue. I'm going to be using tacky glue because this is way more kid-friendly and safer so nobody burns their hands. Some of the pieces will squeeze it right onto the felt, but I'm also going to put a little bit in here, and I'm going to use this craft stylus. I like the ball on the end of it just to get dabs of glue on some of these smaller pieces. You can also use a Q-tip, but because it's so pointed, it's a little harder. So if you have anything like this, go grab it. We're going to start with the black, and then the next piece to go on is the white, and that gets placed right here. And then you can tell on here, the white is going to be above where the feet are. So if you want to place those feet, just to see if you like the placement before you glue anything down, go for it. So that looks good. So I'm going to put some glue on the back of this. You don't need to cover the whole thing, but you just want to do the edges. And you want it to be white. If you go too sparingly, it might not stick quite as well. Another thing I like to have handy is a baby wipe, just because you're going to get glue on your fingers. And a lot of people have these either because they have a baby in the house. Not necessary. You could just have a damp washcloth so you can dab any glue off of your fingers. Now we're going to put the feet down. And the feet do show a little bit from the back, so you only want to put glue at the top of the feet so that you don't end up gluing your penguin to your workspace. Now we are going to figure out where we want the present, the bow, and that impacts where we put the beak and the eyes. Another tool I have that I love are reverse tweezers. So if you ever pluck your eyebrows, tweezers usually just stay open, and then when you squeeze them, they close. These are reverse, hence the name. So you squeeze them to open them and they'll just stay closed. This is great for small pieces because we can put this on the tweezers and then put the glue on there. Then you just turn it over, you place it down where you want it, put your finger down, and then just squeeze to release. These are amazing. So for the eyes, I think I'm going to put the glue right on the penguin and then use the tweezers to get those itty bitty pieces of felt on there, because trying to pick that up, put glue on it, and then put it down, I just don't see that going well. You could add, sequins or beads to the present. I would just, again, grab some tweezers. Next, we're going to glue on the hat. So you'll notice, turn this over, the hat shows a bit from the back, so you're only going to put glue on the top edge of the penguin head. We're going to put the fur trim on there. Now we're going to turn him over, and I do not think we need the other black. We can use him for another penguin, but we are going to put the hat so it's lined up, and then the rim again, just so it looks good from the front and the back, because we all know ornaments never stay the direction you hang them up in, right? And now he is done. Once he dries, you're just going to put a ribbon or a string, grab a needle, however you want to do that, and hook that on there. So if you make these, let me know in the comments how you plan on using these. These could be really cute gift tags. You could use white paint on the back, write somebody's name. They are obviously great ornaments for the tree. This could be something fun your kids could make for teachers. So many ways to use these. Happy crafting and happy holidays.